The city woke up to news of a bear in the BYWARD market this morning in a place crawling with tourists. The attraction today was wildlife far from its natural habitat. Roads were blocked off between Perron and Dalhousie, between Murray and St. Patrick Street. That was to keep the public away from the young bear and the tree it had climbed up. That's where we find CTV's Stefan Keys live for us this afternoon. Stefan.
Well, Graham, first things first, because a lot of people want to know if the bear is okay. Yes, it was tranquilized. It's been taken away and released back into the wild, but it certainly didn't like all of the attention earlier this morning. It ran up this tree to try and get away and be by itself, about 25 to 30 feet high. But here's how things all started earlier today. It was about 3:20 this morning when it was spotted. We now know it's a male bear, 18 months to 2 years old and about 140 pounds. It wandered around the BYWARD market for a bit. Police did respond. They blocked off the roads for a while, as you mentioned, and emphasized that their main concern is public safety. So some people who live near here were asked not to leave. Others arriving for work after daybreak were escorted in. But when most arrived, they couldn't see the bear very well. Again, it had been contained into this backyard that I'm in, and conservation officers tell us they run up trees to feel safe away from anything below. They tranquilized it once it was light out. The bear cage was on standby in the middle of Murray Street, where many were waiting with anticipation. Once firefighters helped with the ladder, the bear was gently lowered down into a net. And then about half a dozen officers carried it out. It stirred, so before they fully had the door closed, that was another moment of excitement for all of us who could hear the rustling. But even if you arrived after 9:30 this morning, you would have been well aware of what you'd been walking into.
I woke up this morning around 7 and I was making a coffee and I looked at my phone, and I'm not that popular. I don't usually get 12 or 13 text messages before 8. So.
Well, I'm told they often don't go as planned, these events. So the bear was up in the tree, and we observed it for quite some time until the NCC and the ministry folks were able to muster and get their kits together. One thing, for public safety and officer safety, they didn't want to tranquilize the bear while it was still dark out, so we certainly wanted to wait till daylight so we had better sight lines.
One of the biggest questions that people also want answered is how a bear ends up here, not suburbia, but in the concrete jungle of the BYWARD market. Speaking to a conservation officer with more than 3 decades of experience, he says he's seen it before. It could be as simple as the bear leaving Gatineau Park, a forested area there, swimming across the Ottawa River in search of food. And it could be just as simple as that. Again, it was taken away. We've heard maybe released in the Lanark County area, Graham.
All right. CTV's Stefan Keys live in the BYWARD market for us on the bear sighting. Thanks so much, Stefan.